in Gmail, we have a window to, we have in our Gmail window, we have a gear in the upper right-hand side. And under that gear, we have settings. And that's going to be where we spend our time with this next task. So, gear and settings. Everybody there?
Yeah.
Okay. So, there's this thing called labs over here. And labs are things that Google people create as little pet projects. They actually have an 80-20 work week where they can kind of work on these pet projects for a few hours every week. And so some of them create these labs for Google, and they're not baked into the Google product yet. They can go away, they can be added. Some are actually added, some go away. But they're here, and you can use them. For the most part, they're disabled by default. But if you want to add them, you can just simply find the one that you want to do and click Enable. So in our case, we're going to do canned responses. And so to enable canned responses, we're just going to click on the little Enable button. And we're going to make sure that we click Save Changes. There's two of them, one on the top, one on the bottom. And we click Save. So then it kind of reloads our page. And nothing happens, but that's okay. So we click Enable, we make sure we click Save, and then it should reload, and we should come back to here. How did we get there? Here, settings, labs. Good. That's how we got to our labs. Now, our task is, there's a little hint here too, settings and labs are your friend, they'll help you to the end. That's what I got for $40,000 and going to Penn State, was to be able to create those catchy little PowerPoint things. My professors would be proud, right? All right, thank you, English degree. Okay, create a canned response with the following text. Hello, our field trip, blah, 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 best regards your teacher, and then I say insert short URL here. So, my first task is first thing I'm going to do is copy that, so I'm going to need that. So here's a quick overview of what a canned response is. If you get perpetual emails that require the same response, you can just put in a response, and then rather than typing it out every time to respond, you could just have one there. And in our case, this is about like a field trip, right? So if you're working on a field trip, you don't have to keep responding and typing out the same message. Yes?
Is that kind of like the signature thing?
Kind of like the signature, yeah. It's just going to always be there, and it's always going to be out there. The signature is part of a new email that you type. It's a little bit different of a role. This can be, whatever you want, and maybe it'll make more sense as we go on. But if a parent emails you about the field trip, we'll be able to put this text right back into an email, and we won't have to retype it. So I'm going to copy this, just Control-C, and I'm going to go back to Gmail, and to get to my canned responses, I'm going to click Compose. And on the bottom right, so here's my Compose window, and on the bottom right, we notice if we click on the little down arrow, most of us probably don't click there often, because we don't have a reason. We have canned responses. And if we kind of hover our mouse over it, it says New Canned Response, and then it's a one-time setup. It's a little confusing, so maybe we'll work through it a couple of times, but let's just start this. So canned responses, New Canned Response, click on it, and it says give it a name. Unless it specifies a name, make it whatever you want. I'm going to call mine Stokes. All right? So I'm going to call it Stokes. I'm going to click OK. Now that box goes away, but don't be worried. Click on the arrow again and go to canned responses and let's go to Stokes. Oh, crap. Now, there's a couple of ways to do this. So the title, the title of it will automatically be added to the subject line. And I'm going to just paste in what the text is. So I'm just going to paste in what the text is. And I'm going to go back to my shortened URL here and copy this again. And I'm just going to add that here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tiny.
It's a tiny URL.